The Dell Optiplex Mini Tower. Now this faithful workhorse I feel has done more for budget PC gaming than anything else I care to think of. A few years ago you could slap a GTX 750 Ti in one of these and you had a super simple gaming PC that was ready to go. But is this still the case? What if we could create something like this? With i7 performance, an SSD and a GPU that can play all the latest esports titles with at least 60 FPS at 1080p medium settings for £150. Well, that's what we're going to do today, and I hope you enjoy the video. My name's Andy and this is Andy's Tech. Now before we get optiplexing, first we're going to need an Optiplex, and generally when Optiplex hunting I looked for the lowest spec 4th gen system I can possibly find, as i5 systems can hold a premium and we don't want to waste any money as the CPU will be replaced with a Xeon later down the line. DDR3 RAM is cheap and systems with no RAM can be had for even cheaper. I do like to look though for a 500GB hard drive if I can, as it's easier than sourcing one down the line and Dell tend to use good quality units. So to stick within today's budget I picked up this for £30. It's got a dual core Pentium, one 4GB stick of DDR3, a 500GB hard drive and plenty of nostalgia thrown in for free. But we're going to need some components to turn this into our little budget gaming system. And I've gone for the budget of £150 today, because the used tech world has gone a bit mad and a lot of people on this platform have brought into the madness and are pushing £500, £600, £700 entry level gaming PCs, and that's just silly. PC gaming is a grassroots movement and I believe you can still build a system and have a lot of fun at this price range. So let's get into the components we're going to use to upgrade our Dell. First up we're going to add an SSD. Now our budget will only allow for a 120GB drive, and these can be picked up for £15 pretty much anywhere these days. That will be more than enough for our Windows install, our game launchers and with a little room to spare. If your budget allows, I'd recommend investing in the largest drive possible, as it makes sense in the long run. On to RAM next, and our system came with one 4GB stick of DDR3 1600, so I'm just going to match that and add an extra 4GB stick, which cost me £5. Dual channel is always best, and again these can be picked up pretty much anywhere these days used for about £5. I would have loved to have added a 16GB kit, but the budget didn't allow for this, and 8GB is still okay for gaming in 2022. In the CPU department, we're going to let our little Pentium die in peace and replace it with one of these, a Xeon E3 1241 V3. One of my favourite budget CPUs at the moment. It's a 4-core 8-threaded chip with a base clock of 3.5 GHz and a turbo speed of 3.9. It's a better bin chip than the i7 4770, and what's more it's half the price and can be picked up for around £25 to £40 on sites like eBay and is readily available. These Xeons are technically unsupported by our Dell motherboard, but quite honestly I've never had a problem with fitting these. It's a great upgrade for a system like this and well recommended. But what about the graphics card? Yes, there is a pandemic. Yes, there's no new cards anyone can buy in their right mind or afford. But with a little foresight there are still bargains out there, and this little GTX 1050 is one of them. Being the little brother of the 1050 Ti, and with only 2GB GDDR5 VRAM, this little card seems to have been overlooked by scalpers and used bargain hunters alike. I've picked these up constantly throughout the pandemic for £60 to £80, and I paid £70 for this card today. Yes, it's not amazing or mind-blowing, but honestly it's still a great GPU to get into PC gaming. It has driver support, requires no additional power, and fits perfectly into our Dell case and our budget today. So let's have a quick recap. Our Dell system cost us £30, I spent £15 on the SSD drive, £5 for the extra 4GB stick of RAM, The Xeon cost £30 and the GTX 1050 was £70. So that brings the total for the bill to £150. Now I did go an extra step, which I haven't included in the budget, and that was to spray the case white and to make it look a little different. This was super easy to do, and I took some lovely footage, but unfortunately my 5-year-old got hold of my phone and deleted the footage. Now I live in the UK and it's been one of the wettest winters for a long time, and short of waiting for the spring and the rain to stop, I had to move on with the video. But I have the finished product, and 3 coats of white gloss and 2 coats of clear lacquer later, and it looks amazing. The cans cost me £4 each from my local DIY shop, and really the limit is your imagination. I'm not good at stuff like this, but with a bit of patience I was really happy with the result. Rebuilding the PC was super simple as well. These Dells are so easy to work on and everything is really accessible and easy. The PSU is just 4 screws and the motherboard's back in 6, and then it's just a question of connecting everything up, and then we're ready to fit our upgrades.
Got his wife.
Trevor's got a wife.
No, the Mexican's wife.
What? Shit, I don't know what to say about that one.
Nothing to say about that.
Run! So there we have it, folks, and I think our little Dell turned out awesome. Who says you can't have a fun, competitive gaming experience for £150? Add a few cans of white spray paint and you can really turn it into something special and unique. All the games tested ran flawlessly, with a well above 60 FPS experience and respectable 1% lows. We could even run titles like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Warzone at 1080p low, though the latter would have certainly benefited from some more RAM. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a lot of fun, this little project, and I hope you've taken something out of it. Please leave a like or a comment down below, I would really appreciate that. Thanks to my now 300 plus subscribers as well, you guys are amazing, and if you're not one of them, please consider joining us for more content like this. As always, hopefully see you in the next one. Take care and God bless.